Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have a really exciting matchup to get into for Naomi Osaka versus Karolina Muchova in the quarterfinals of the 2025 US Open. So we have a four-time Grand Slam champion against a former Grand Slam finalist in Karolina Muchova, but a player actually in Muchova who has been making waves at the US Open specifically because she has actually been super impressive, back-to-back semi-finals in the last couple of years, and now she's made yet another quarterfinal. I'm just extremely impressed with the way that she's been conducting herself at Flushing Meadows, and of course she's had a really bad time with injuries, so the fact that she's now able to come back there every year, have the US Open and get wins is phenomenal. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm really here for it. So what we're going to do, of course, is talk about the head-to-head. We'll then talk a little bit about the route to the quarterfinal stage. We will then talk about tactically how it might play out, and then ultimately I'll give you guys my prediction. And you know what? I just have a feeling that I've got a pretty big feeling this could be a very interesting match. The only thing I want to, I guess, highlight is that Karolina Muchova is carrying an injury, so I just hope that she's fully fit or fit enough to put in a really good performance, because if not, it could then become pretty difficult. The head-to-head is actually 2-2 as well. Before we get into head-to-head then, even remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Shout out to our members as always. Okay, so the head-to-head, as I said, is 2-2. They did play at the Australian Open this year. Osaka got the win, 1-6, 6-1, 6-3, so great comeback win. Then they also played though at the United States Open, at the US Open last year, and Muchova got the win, 6-3, 7-6. So they've played in the last two hardcore Grand Slams and they've split the wins, but the US Open was a win for Muchova. They've also played in Miami in 2022. Osaka got the win there, and I think it looks like it was a withdrawal. Madrid, Muchova won in 3, and then Cincinnati in 2020, Osaka won in 3. So they've had some tight matches. It's a tight head-to-head. I think actually that match in Miami doesn't count because they never played. So it's not a win for Osaka, so that's why it's 2-2. I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. Muchova's got the variety with a backhand slice. She'll rush to the net. She's got a big serve, as does Osaka. The forehand, she uses it to almost in a very precise surgical way to open up angles and open up opportunities to hit the open court, come forward with her variety. With Osaka, she is more power personified, of course. She is a baseline power hitter who uses angles extremely well, hits a lot of topspin, deceiving amounts of topspin, and her return has been really good, and both coming off very impressive wins as well. I think Osaka has looked so good this tournament. She had I think it was in Montreal, she had a match against Samsonova where she had to save match points. And since then, she has been in really good form, made the final, of course, in Montreal as well. And that match against Samsonova, I remember doing a video, a preview for her next match, and saying that if she were to, given that she saved those match points, I think mentally it's going to give her a lot of confidence going forward. Interestingly, after her win against Goff, Osaka did say that after I saved match points in that match in Montreal, so she quoted that specific match, she said, you know what, I just thought to myself that it doesn't matter what the scoreline is, I have a chance of coming back or potentially winning. So I thought, you know what, let's go out there and enjoy it and actually just play with a smile on my face. And that was evident against Goff. She was playing very much with a smile on her face, and that was great to see. It really was. It was phenomenal to see from Osaka. Probably the happiest I've seen her on court since her comeback, and it showed in her play. Her route to the quarterfinals has been, it's not been the hardest. Well, I say that, but she beat Menin in straight sets. Baptiste is a very tough competitor in straight sets. Kasatkina beat her in 3. And then Goff, of course, who's won this tournament before, but is struggling, I think, especially on serve. She beat her 6-3, 6-2, a very, very good performance. And what's very interesting in that matchup is that she served only 42% of first serves in, but won 94% behind her first serve. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then we have Karolina Muchova, who had a very good performance against Marta Kostyuk just now. And she's won every single match in 3 sets. She's really fought her way to the stage. Beat Venus Williams in 3 sets, then beat Castell in 3 sets, beat Noskova in 3 sets, and then Kostyuk in 3 sets as well. She's just a very good all-round player. She's not going to necessarily serve a lot of aces or hit a lot of winners off the +1 shot, a lot of forced errors. She's more going to try and hurt you with her creativity, and she'll try and disrupt Naomi's rhythm. So Osaka, to me, was very impressive against Goff, and an interesting stat is that whenever she's made it past the 4th round of Slam, she's gone on to win it. So history would tell you that she's going to win this tournament, but of course that was now a number of years ago, and she's got the 4 slams in her back pocket. But there's always a first time for something, for a record to be broken or to be stopped. For Muchova, of course, she'll be looking for her 3rd straight semi-final. Look, I mean, I'm a little bit worried about Muchova's hip, and if she's on 100%, I think Osaka gets the win. I think even if she's fit, I just think with this surface, I think the crowd will majority be behind Osaka as well. I know she's playing for Japan, but she lived in America pretty much all her life, and she's won here twice as well. I just think she's playing with such confidence, and she's so happy on court. The ground strokes are just so difficult. I mean, Goff is one of the best defenders on tour, and she was struggling to neutralize Osaka's power from the baseline. I'm not sure if Muchova can do better than Goff defensively. Goff, yes, made some uncharacteristic errors at times. I just don't feel like Muchova's going to be able, like the slice is not going to be enough against it. If Osaka's pummeling her backhand wing with her own backhand, Muchova might hit a slice, but it's not going to be the potent slice that she's normally used to hitting. It's going to have a bit more float on it, and then Osaka pounces on those types of slices. Her serve, as I said against Goff, first serve wasn't quite clicking, but when it was going in, she was barely losing a point. That's going to be quite important, because I think Muchova will be quite aggressive off the second serve return, as well as Osaka. I think both players serve big behind the first serve, so I guess the question is going to be who can outserve the other. And then from the returning aspect, I've been quite impressed with Osaka's returning. She's not the most natural returner, but she's been very good recently. And having, I think, Swiatek's old coach in her box obviously probably helped with Goff, because she's beaten her many times. And with Muchova, of course, Swiatek's beaten Muchova a few times as well. But I actually think, Swiatek is a phenomenal returner, and I'm sure her new coach would have looked, and he would have picked up how Swiatek returns, would have potentially utilized some of his learnings into helping Osaka with that. Look, I'm just very impressed with Naomi, to be honest. I really like the way Muchova plays. There's not many players that play like her anymore, and it's great to see her coming forward the way that she does. But I just feel with the potential hip niggle, with the fact she's had to grind through every single match, Osaka's looked pretty clean and pretty comfortable with the crowd, with the form going into it. I'm going to pick Osaka, and I'm going to go Osaka in 3 sets. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and why. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video.